Hi, I'm Shubhanaga, and in this video we're looking at the Metta Bhavana practice, and we'll look at the receptive way of working and the active way of working in this video, and we'll do that through the 5 traditional stages of the practice. So in the Metta Bhavana, it's really important to stay in contact authentically with how we are right now, moment by moment during the practice. So we need this receptive awareness. That's the basis of the practice. So it doesn't matter how we are. We might be having a pleasant experience. We might be having an unpleasant experience. It might be fairly neutral. Whatever is going on is just going on. That's fine. The Metta Bhavana is not about trying to force a particular experience. It's not about having a particular experience or anything like that. We just start with where we are in the practice. And then we can bring in the active way of working. So in the practice today, what we'll do is we'll use the first of the traditional phrases, the well-wishing, may I be well, may you be well. And we use that sparingly in the practice. So we don't want to force this. We don't want to be too pushy in the practice. We can lose contact with how we actually are if we do that too much. So we'll use the well-wishing sparingly, and all we're trying to do is we're just looking to nudge our experience in the direction of loving kindness and metta. So we're just learning how to develop feelings of loving kindness towards other people and towards ourselves. So we'll do that in each of the 5 stages. So in the first stage with ourselves, what I suggest we do is we start with receptivity, and then we'll bring in the well-wishing, may I be well, dropping that in like a pebble, and then we go back to receptivity, how we actually are, how we're feeling in the belly and the chest. So that's the first stage, ourselves. And then in the second stage with our friends, we'll do exactly the same. We'll start with receptivity. How are we in the practice? What's our experience? And then we'll bring in the well-wishing. May you be well, dropping that in very spaciously, very sparingly, and then we see what that's like. So we're going back to receptivity. We see what that's like in the practice, in our experience. What does that feel like in the body? Third stage, the neutral person, we'll do the same again, starting in the body, in the area of the chest and the belly. Then we bring in the neutral person and bring in the well-wishing, may you be well. And what's that like? Might be that this stage in particular doesn't feel like there's much going on. Well, that's okay, just staying with that experience as much as we can, and looking to nudge our experience in the direction of well-wishing, of loving kindness and metta. And then in the 4th stage, with the difficult person, traditionally known as the enemy stage, we'll do the same again. How are we? How are we feeling in the body, in the belly, the chest? And then we bring in imaginatively the difficult person into this stage, and then we're moving towards well-wishing. Might be more challenging this stage. Might be that there's an unpleasant experience there. We'll just see what is that like in the practice. Can we stay with that? It may be that you go off into blame stories, blaming them, blaming yourself. See if you can drop below the story and come into the body, feeling into the experience in the body, even if it's a bit unpleasant. If it's really challenging this stage, don't dwell in negative emotion for too long. Either choose a different person, or you could go back to one of the earlier stages of the practice in this stage, and then try re-engaging in the practice. So we're just trying it out. We're just trying this out. Yeah. So that's the 4th stage, the difficult person stage. And then in the 5th stage, we're bringing everybody so far in the practice together. So that's ourselves, our good friend, the neutral person and the difficult person, seated together, perhaps imaginatively in the same space. And we're looking to equalize the well-wishing to all of those people. May we be well. So again, being receptive, staying in contact with receptive awareness, and bringing in that well-wishing like a pebble, dropping that into the practice nice and spaciously, nice and sparingly. And then we'll fold out the practice to more and more people, so including more and more people imaginatively in the practice, extending our well-wishing out to all of humanity, all of life. And we can end the practice just with a bit of just sitting, so just being receptive to the effects of the meditation at the end. So that's the 5 stages: our self, our good friend, the neutral person, the difficult person, and then the 5th stage, expanding out. And I'll lead us through the whole of the practice, so it'll be around 20 minutes, so 4 minutes a stage, something like that. So you might want to pause the video just for now, and then we'll meet in front of the shrine in just a moment, and I'll lead through the whole of this 5-stage Metta Bhavana. So settling into your posture, allowing some time to arrive into the meditation, developing a receptive attitude, particularly to body awareness, feeling the weight of the body on your seat, and feeling into the belly and the chest, seeing if we can hone into those areas of the body, the belly, the chest, and just being sensitive to what's happening. How are you feeling right now? And that might be predominantly pleasant, or it might be unpleasant, or it might be fairly low key. There might not be much happening. Just allowing whatever is there to be there. Staying receptively aware of your experience, moment by moment. And we'll move into the 1st stage of the Metta Bhavana practice. So, bringing to mind ourselves, staying receptive to feelings in the body, the belly, the chest. Keeping the practice spacious. And when you're ready, bringing in this well-wishing. May I be well. Dropping that in. Say it like you mean it. And see what effect that has. And if the mind wanders, just being really kind to yourself, just gently coming back to the body. Just bringing in that receptive awareness. What is going on in the body, in the belly and the chest? May I be well. So in the second stage, bringing to mind a good friend. And as you do that, just notice the effect in the practice. Does that affect your experience? How does that feel in the body as you bring that person to mind? And then when you're ready, bringing in the active way of working, the well-wishing, dropping in like a pebble. May you be well. Say that to your friend. And then see what effect that has in the practice, being receptive. And if we wander off into some sort of story or thinking about the person, coming back to the body, coming back to the belly and the chest, staying alive to our experience, and whether that's pleasant, unpleasant, or might just be not much going on, just opening to that. So in the third stage, bringing to mind the neutral person, bringing them into the practice and staying receptively aware of your own experience, What effect does that have? Maybe there's not much going on, that's fine. See if you can imaginatively connect with the neutral person. And then bringing in this active element to the practice, the well-wishing. May you be well. Say that to this person and be open to the effect on your own experience, staying receptively aware. And if the practice seems quite low-key at this point, that's okay. Just allowing the practice to be spacious, staying with the body, staying with body awareness, the belly and the chest. So in the fourth stage, staying receptive to our own experience in the body, and then bringing to mind the difficult person. Keeping this nice and spacious, nice and light. What effect does this have, bringing the difficult person to mind? How does that feel in the body? Really trying to move towards this person. And just notice if you're getting into any story, any narrative. See if we can drop below that. Staying in the body. And then we're moving towards well-wishing for this person. What would it be like to wish this person well? What would it be like? What would it be like? What would it be like? And if this is challenging, staying with your own experience, just keeping it nice and spacious, the practice, even dropping the difficult person for a while, going back to the first stage, if that's helpful. So in the fifth and final stage, bringing together all of the people in the practice so far, so that's ourselves, the friend, the neutral person and the difficult person. Just imaginatively collecting together all of those people. And we'll wish all of us well equally. May we be well. So just dropping that into the practice and noticing the effect in the body. And maybe there's still not much happening in the body. That's okay as well. Just being receptive, just having a open and receptive attitude. And then we'll slowly include more and more people into the practice. Maybe people you've seen recently, people you'll see later today or this week. Maybe there are people around you. So wishing all of those people well. May we be well. And then extending out to include more and more people. So people in your locality, in the countryside or city around you. Extending out well-wishing to more and more people, to the whole of humanity, the whole of life. And now for a few moments towards the end of this practice, just dropping any effort you've been making, staying with your experience, staying alive to your experience in the body, the belly, the chest. Just noticing any effects of the practice. And when I ring a bell in a few moments, you can just take your own time to come out of the meditation.